name's Quentin Torres. We're located at Michigan Sports Academy in Howell, and this is our nervous system training program. I first got into fitness training back in 2014, and around 2016 is when I started entering sports performance training full-time. Well, I'm certified under Nick Curson, who owns Speed of Sport. I got my certification back in 2016. The nervous system training program fits every comprehensible need that an athlete requires to succeed in their sport. And that comes down to there's a lot more that goes into sports than just being able to lift heavy weights and looking really strong. There's rhythm, there's timing, there's coordination, there's balance, there's skill, there's longevity. And what we try to do is try to address all these needs that an athlete has. And we have a very step-by-step process to develop what a lot of people and a lot of coaches would underline as talent. We know how to simply take those things that make up a quote-unquote talented athlete, and we can train that into any individual athlete. And when it comes to getting better at your sport, it all revolves around how you spend your time. And if you spend your hours developing the right muscle groups in the right way, working on the flexibility, the coordination, the muscular equilibrium, the plyometric training, if you indoctrinate all these things properly and use your time efficiently, you'll notice results incredibly fast. It usually takes between 6 to 12 accumulated hours of training so you can start getting measurable results. And that's measurable results in the field, whether it comes for faster times, faster velocities, or higher vertical jump, any sort of measurable modality that we can use to track results. Like, sports movement is all done at incredibly high speeds, whether it's basketball, baseball, soccer, football, everything's done at a fraction of a second. You have to perform your strongest action as quickly as possible under speed and with coordination to execute a play. Most of the time when you perform these high-level actions, a lot of it has to do with how much force you're generating. Like, say, for example, a basketball player. When a basketball player is running up to do a layup, they're literally throwing their body weight into the floor, which is bouncing them off the court, giving them vertical takeoff to put the basketball in the hoop. Our training system revolves around how to expand their ability to generate force. The more force you can generate into the athlete, the more force the athlete can generate into the floor, the higher the performance goes up. The system we use here really tries to isolate the mechanisms that are responsible for cutting very fast, sprinting very fast, jumping very high, and we try to hyper-activate those mechanisms into the body. So when they go back on the court or on the field, they'll directly be able to generate more rate of force development. So I guess the biggest misconception that people have with our training system is that we don't lift weights, which couldn't be further from the truth. We use different tools than what most standard performance companies use. We find we're very limited using barbells and using the traditional bench press and squat system and deadlift system. So we switched over to the SuperCat machines and plyometric machines, and we just use different tools that do have weight to them, but you have to have enough weight so you can throw them with speed. Now, there's different forms of strength. I think there's seven different forms of strength on the on the strength velocity curve. And what we do is we try to keep all the training applications at speed strength, where you can load the various muscle groups, like you can load the arms, you can load the shoulders, you can load the legs, and be able to plyometrically strength train them using enough speed that's also translatable to the sport. And hence the title of my certification is called Speed of Sport. So if you're not training at the speed of your sport, you're training slower, you're actually doing something that could be detrimental to your performance. You're training slow twitch instead of fast twitch. The problem with that is that you're actually deadening the fast twitch response that's responsible for jumping, sprinting, cutting, any swing in a baseball bat. So and it also destabilizes the body. With your traditional weightlifting routines, or the traditional tools that people are a little indoctrinated into, is that they tend to think that they have an unlimited time to take their weight load, say like a bar, so like for a front squat, you have an unlimited time to eccentrically let the bar bring all the way down and concentrically push it all the way up. Now sports is never under those parameters. You have to perform your action as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. So we try to take those same philosophies and we apply them to our strength training modalities. And so if you watch some of our movements, everything is done as fast as possible, trying to utilize the mechanism that's responsible for force generation. I guess what I'd like to achieve with an athlete that walks through a door, give them the tools to achieve the most success with the time they have with sports.
For the past 3 years, or 4 years technically, I've been experiencing my cardiovascular, picking up more, my strength and my speed picking up more, and my mobility and flexibility tremendously get to the progress where it needs to be, especially in the sport for what I do for recovery time. I feel like my recovery time has been much more easier on my body. I woke up less sore, I woke up less hurt, and less physical problems I've had over the years, I've noticed, because I haven't blown out or haven't torn anything bad ligament-wise or tendon-wise.
From doing that movement that we did, it like transferred into the game, and like I kept like I had a couple steals every game, but like when we keep on working on those kind of things, it makes you like, it made me like realize, oh, this drill, like I did this, and then it made me have this. Like when I do that movement, then my hands will do that movement, and then I'll do it in the game. So like it's like muscle memory kind of thing. So it transfers from training to the game, and then you have to use yourself to like know when to use it, but like your body would know.
So I never really had any like upper body strength, like just never. I would go to weights for basketball and I'd be in like the worst group, like the one who would lift the least, and I never really like did anything about it. I've always wanted to be good and I've always wanted to be better. And then Quentin came to a basketball workout in the summer and just gave us like a little idea of what his whole program was about, and I was really interested, but at that time I was more interested for track instead of basketball. So my dad gave him a call and they talked it over, and then I started this process, and it's really improved me. It's made me a much stronger person. My dad says that he sees it every day that I get a little bit stronger, a little bit better. It's really improved. Even my muscles are much better.